The news day continues here in One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Here are the top stories of the hour. The government is now studying ways to further improve VAT efficiency or the collection of value-added tax in the country. Finance Secretary Ben Diokno says the tax system in the country has already seen improvements, as most taxes are now mainly taken from consumption rather than income. This means the amount of taxes collected are now largely based on spending rather than wealth. Despite this, Diokno says VAT collection efficiency remains to be a problem. Value-added taxes are those imposed by the government on certain products. Diokno noted that the Philippines has the lowest VAT efficiency among its association of Southeast Asian nations neighbors, despite having the region's highest VAT rate at 12%. The finance chief blames this on VAT exemptions.
The various incentives and exemptions granted outside the Philippine tax code erodes the revenue base and requires the establishment of safeguards in tax administration to prevent abuse.
From 2016 to 2022, the country only collected some 723 billion pesos in VAT, 40% of the expected collection. If exemptions will be reduced, over 500 billion pesos in additional VAT could have been collected by the government. Diokno says the government has also tapped the International Monetary Fund or IMF to study how the country can further improve VAT collection.
Maybe find areas where we can recover yung mga too much exemptions. No? For example, one exemption talaga is the cooperatives. Yun, madami talagang hindi nagbabayad ng VAT because of the cooperatives. No?
A Bangkok-based business conglomerate plans to invest $2.5 billion in agricultural technology development in the Philippines. Officials of Charoen Pokpan Group paid a courtesy call to President Bongbong Marcos at Malacanang on Tuesday. Marcos assured the CP Group of the government support as it rolls out its plans for the Philippines agri-sector. In November 2022, officials of the business group met with the president during his visit to Thailand. CP Group is Thailand's largest private company, currently with $2 billion investment in the Philippines. The House of Representatives has adopted the Senate version of a bill extending the estate tax amnesty. This to ensure that the bill will be signed into law before the current tax amnesty period expires on June 14. Under the Senate bill, the new estate tax amnesty period will run until June 14, 2025. House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Joey Salceda says the extension could benefit over 900,000 Filipino families with unsettled estates. According to Salceda, the measure would be sent to the President's desk. The congressman also says it is, quote, an enhanced version of the estate tax amnesty measure as it limits discretion of the BIR on what documents to require. The bill also allows payment of the estate tax to be done in installments within 2 years from the statutory date for the payment without civil penalty or interest. The Senate approved on third and final reading the controversial Maharlika Investment Fund bill past 2 a.m. today. This move comes just after a week President Marcos certified the measure as urgent. The proposal got 19 yes votes, 1 no vote, and 1 abstention. Opposition Senator Risa Hontiveros voted against the measure, while Senator Nancy Binay abstained. Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel was not present during the voting. The voting on Maharlika followed an 11-hour plenary session that saw senators scrambling to pass priority legislation of the Marcos administration before Congress adjourns this Friday. President Marcos hopes to banner the MIF during his second SONA set in July, where Congress is set to reconvene.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 2:32 a.m. in the morning, we have 19 affirmative votes, 1 negative vote, 1 abstention. Senate Bill number 2020 is approved on third reading. Congratulations.
During the period of amendments, majority of the senators agreed to explicitly ban investments in the Maharlika investment funds from government social welfare entities like GSIS and SSS. Senator Gatchalian also sought to remove dividends from the Bangko Sentral as funding sources, but this amendment was rejected by Senator Mark Villar, noting that the move is a priority of the economic managers. The Senate meanwhile approved Ontiveros' proposal to disqualify any person from the MIF Board of Directors who within 5 years before being appointed has a pending administrative or judicial case relating to fraud, plunder, corruption, and similar crimes. The Senate version of Maharlika also imposes heavier penalties for anomalous activities concerning the fund. In moving to ban GSIS and SSS as investors through the Maharlika, Senator Pia Cayetano says this move seeks to protect the funds of pension members. Senator Ontiveros said she is in favor of this particular amendment, but she maintained her no vote for the bill, which the minority has described earlier as rushed.
In as much as we truly hope that the fund will be successful, we would like to ensure that the pension funds and the aforementioned funds would not be touched, Your Honor, to at least preserve this, because we have had experiences in the past where the hard-earned money of our people were lost. So this is the amendment.
I associate myself with the last amendment proposed and accepted on excluding the social protection funds, GSIS, etc., from investing in the MIC.
Will you change your mind now on voting?
Just this manifestation, Mr. President.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. The Customs Bureau has seized suspected smuggled goods with an estimated value of 900 million pesos in Plaridel, Bulacan. The BOC said they uncovered a stash of cigarettes and other items suspected to have been illegally imported in some warehouses last May 26. The agency temporarily padlocked and sealed the warehouses and gave them a 15-day period to provide the required documentary evidence. The operation was carried out by the agents from the Manila International Container Port, Intel and Enforcement Group, along with the Coast Guard. Despite reports of damage to infrastructure, the Office of the Civil Defense says no casualties due to Typhoon Betty have been reported so far. According to OCD Undersecretary Ariel Nepomuceno, Filipinos have relatively remained safe during Typhoon Betty. However, Nepomuceno warns Filipinos not to let their guards down yet. This as the typhoon is expected to leave the Philippine area of responsibility by late Thursday or early Friday. The OCD also says it cannot yet downgrade the red alert status raised over some areas due to the threat of the southwest monsoon.
Wala pong na-report na nasawi o casualty. Yun po ang lagi natin sinasabing pangunahin nating objective. Maganda naman po. Kaya lang, hindi naman po tayo magre-relax pa rin. Siguro, marahil hanggang Biyernes bago tayo magsabing makaka-relax na ng kahit papano.
Typhoon Betty has further weakened and is now moving slowly over the sea east of Batanes. As of 5 a.m. today, the center of the eye of Typhoon Betty was estimated at 320 kilometers east of Itbayat, Batanes. It's packing winds of 120 kilometers per hour near the center, with gustiness of up to 150 kilometers per hour. Pagasa's latest monitoring also shows that the typhoon is now moving north-northwestward slowly. Typhoon Betty is forecast to slowly accelerate today through tomorrow morning while moving generally northward over the waters east of Batanes. However, it is also forecasted to steadily weaken over the next 5 days due to cooler ocean waters and dry air intrusion. As of this morning, Batanes remains as the only province placed under signal number 2. Signal number 1, on the other hand, has been raised over the entire province of Apayao and Cagayan, including the Babuyan Islands. Some portions of Isabela, Ilocos Norte, and Kalinga also remain under signal number 1. However, even as the typhoon slowly pulls away from the country, the southwest monsoon is expected to bring cloudy skies over most of Luzon and western Visayas.
Patuloy pa rin yung pag-iral ng southwest monsoon o hanging habagat mula dito sa southern Luzon, sa may Visayas at sa may Mindanao. Kaya nga ho ngayong araw ay inaasahan natin ng maulap na kalangitan, partikular na sa malaking bahagi ng Luzon, gayon din sa western Visayas. So, kasama ho dyan yung mga iba't ibang area, kasama po yung sa Bicol Region, Mimaropa, Calabarzon, Central Luzon, at dito sa may bahagi ng Northern Luzon. Kahit dito sa Kamaynilaan, posibleng medyo maging maulap na or makakaranas tayo ng maulap na kalangitan.
Due to inclement weather brought about by Typhoon Betty, classes are still suspended in some parts of the country. Classes in all levels today, May 31, have been suspended in Malibcong, Abra, and Baguio City. 4 areas in Occidental Mindoro have also put up classes in all levels today, namely in Santa Cruz, Mamburao, San Jose, and Rizal. Meanwhile, the local government of Licuan Baay in Abra have also suspended classes up to senior high school. The same goes for 10 areas in Benguet, Visar-Atok, Itogon, Kapangan, Tublay, Tuba, La Trinidad, Mankayan, Kabayan, Sablan, and Bukod. And that's it for this hour. I'm Diego Castro. Join us again at 11:15 a.m. We are One News, all sides, all the time.